Hello, AP English Language and Composition Online students. Welcome again to a new lesson. Today's lesson has two parts. It is the roles of nouns in a sentence. The roles of nouns in a sentence. And later on we're going to talk about subordinate clauses. So let's start with the roles of nouns in a sentence. So I made 3 sentences up for you today. Jeff is a friend who gave me some help on my website. I'm going to go kind of fast. I asked my class all these questions and they figured it out with our interaction, but I don't have much time on YouTube, so here we go. 5 roles of a noun in a sentence. Jeff, subject, friend, because it follows a linking verb, is a predicate nominative. This is another subject in our subordinate clause. Me, indirect object. Help, direct object. Now here we have a little prepositional phrase, and this is the object of the preposition. So we have subjects repeated, but we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 roles of a noun in a sentence. A subject, a predicate nominative, indirect and direct objects, and an object of a preposition. You can find these all if you find the verb in the main clause. It helps you find your way around in a sentence. That's usually the best way to start. Here's the verb in the main clause, and then we have the subject and the predicate nominative. Here we have a subordinate clause, and finding the verb might help there too. So we do have 2 clauses, makes it a little more complex here. I know what you said. What's my verb in the main clause? Know. Okay. So what's my subject comes before my verb normally? I know. Now here, what is the thing I know? We have to stop thinking about nouns and all parts of speech as just being a word. Parts of speech can be multiple word groups, whether they be phrases. Right here we have a phrase. It's a prepositional phrase, but it's just a part of speech. It's just an adverb modifying gave, all right? So our word groups can be phrases or subordinate clauses, but they're still only going to be parts of speech. So here's what you're learning new for today. This word group has a subject and a verb in it. Right? So yeah, we do have a subject, and we do have a noun there, but this whole word group is the thing you know. Right? It's a thing, even though it's abstract. And so this will be a direct object because it follows an action verb. So here I'm expanding your understanding for sure. So subject, verb, direct object, but a little subject, and verb in the subordinate clause. You have to have a subject and a verb in a clause, whether it's subordinate or independent. Sorry, that is actually the little direct object inside this little clause. But for the main clause, we have subject, verb, direct object, inside subject, verb, direct object. Inverted order. Now, where is our verb in the main clause? It's this, right? Is a form of the verb be. What is doubtful? This whole thing up to the verb is doubtful. This idea is doubtful. So we can't just think that our subject is a one-word noun. But this is a noun. It's a word group that's a noun. Phrases, word groups can be nouns, but so can subordinate clauses. So what is it? It's first, so it's our subject. So we do have our own another subject in the subordinate clause, that is the subject, and we do have a little verb phrase in the subordinate clause, but the whole thing is one noun. And then we have a linking verb. What is this? Review from yesterday. It follows a linking verb. It's not a noun. It's our predicate adjective. So start to look at word groups and we're focusing mainly on subordinate clauses, start to look at them as nouns. And they can be 5 different things in a sentence. Your subordinate clauses can be nouns, and they can be all these different things in a sentence. Right now, let's look at a different part of the board. Right here. And this is about subordinate clauses. So how do we recognize subordinate clauses? Well, they're just going to be parts of speech, right? An adjective, an adverb, or a noun. But how do we figure out, when we find them, how do we identify which of the 3 types that subordinate clause is? By how it acts, its function in the sentence. Is it describing a quality of a noun? It's an adjective. Is it describing another adjective or verb or adverb? Then it's an adverb. Is it acting like a thing of some sort? All right? Then it's a noun. So how it functions, but also by what it starts with. All right, so adjective clauses start with very particular words. Who, whose, whom, which, that. Those are relative pronouns. But they can begin with relative adverbs when, where, why. So for example, the girl who is nice is here. Who is nice modifies girl. It's a little subordinate adjective clause, right? The girl who is nice. It's next to what it modifies usually. That helps too, to help you figure out what it is. It's next to a noun. It could be an adjective. Adverb. Adverb clauses begin with subordinating conjunctions. They are on your one of your documents, a whole list of them. The most common are since, because, if, but there are some that are multiple word subordinating conjunctions, so that, even though, as if. So those words begin, adverb clauses. I am here because you told me to be here. Because you told me to be here is an adverb clause. Noun clauses are what we're really going to focus on. That's your homework. They begin with the word how, that, or a WH word, like wherever. Wherever you go is fine with me. Wherever you go is my noun clause subject. Then we have is the verb in the main clause. Fine. It's probably a predicate adjective, right? So that is our lesson for today. Now, the noun clause worksheet that you work on, just fill it out the best you can. All right? So thank you.